Thank you very much. I hope you all enjoyed the coffee break. A little surprise there of the scone with the cream on it. How many people who'd already had sausages for breakfast also went for that? I mean, I have to say, in the Cohen methodology, put your hands up, those who want to embarrass yourselves. Anyway, welcome back. My name's Chris Preston. I'm Director of Library Services at DCU. I'm chairing this session. I've got a couple of housekeeping. First of all, that Carmel's given me. Apparently the LAI certificates will be posted out to you, so you don't need to go to the guys at the desk for those. However, the ANLTC certificates are available at the registration desk. Is that right, Carmel? Yeah. So if you want to pick up those, please do. I'm suddenly stood right next to this traffic light here, which I think has sort of developed its own personality in the conference, don't you think? It's especially the top red bit. Now, I happen to know that Owen's over there with his finger on the button, ready to... but just as by way of an anecdote, it may be revealing my slightly dodgy Belfast roots here, but you know that those of us from the north are well known around the world for our strict adherence to the law. It reminds me, when this first came on, it reminded me of a friend who once phoned me up and said that he'd rigged the house to the traffic lights across the street, and it was paracut after paracut after paracut after that. And I'll let you think about that joke. For no longer than that. But it gives me great pleasure to introduce Fiona, Bernadette, and Emma, all from MU, and Michael and Joseph, both from UCD. We'll be taking questions at the end as standard. So I think Fiona's first.
Good morning, everyone. As my colleague Elaine said this morning, there's a few new people presenting for the first time. So if anyone's wondering what that noise in the background is, it's in fact my heart. I'd like to talk to you today about how our experience in Maynooth University Library, how we've changed how we communicate with our users and different ways that we've tried to engage with our students. So what I'll look at is, first of all, talk a little bit about why we did it in the first place, some of the tools that we were currently using, and then I'll show you some examples as well of how we adjusted the microphone, so to speak, and took on some other tools which we think are very effective. As I said, I have some examples to show you because it's always nice to actually see it in action. Talk a little bit about statistics and costing. It's always good to get the numbers in there. And maybe at the end you might decide to try it yourself, and I'll talk a little bit about that. So the first thing is Maynooth University was getting a brand new website, and this had implications for ourselves in the library. Previously with our old website, the web team were able to make new adjustments very easily, but now we had some restrictions for changing content. So what this meant was, and I know other people have spoken about it, a delay in getting our message across. So we needed to look at quicker ways and more effective ways of getting our message out to our students. We also were very aware that our social media audience was growing, both on Facebook and Twitter. So what we wanted to see was, were there tools out there that would work really effectively with our social media? And you probably all heard of Phil Bradley, who's quite a guru in opening up the internet and what's available out there. And we had a seminar with him. He came over to visit us in Maynooth University, and we were really able to explore our options and sit down and have a look at what is available there. So we were using some of these tools, which I'm sure you're all familiar with: Flickr, YouTube, blogs. As I said, our social media audience was definitely growing, and we were very aware that our students were using it an awful lot more. But how are we going to grab the attention of our students using Facebook and Twitter? And previously we were finding that a lot of our posts were very text-based. So we wanted to move away from that and have it very vibrant, very engaging. So this is where we went to. Some of these tools you may be familiar with, you may be using already, and some of them may be new to you. The one in the middle, which is used for creating infographics, which is something that was new to me. Our library information services use that to create infographics for, say, how many students have come in during the semester, how many tours we've given. So around there are some of the ones that we use. I'm going to focus primarily a little bit on Powtoon and Animoto, which are animation sites that we use. They're very simple to use. You can sign up for a free account. There's no charge initially. You create your cartoon or your video, and what we do is we then upload it to YouTube and then embed it into our social media. So that all sounds very good in theory, but out of these, what I decided to do was actually create a Powtoon to show you how we use some of these tools together. So, say my prayers first that this will work. I'll talk about that bit in a moment. So that's an example of Powtoon. So as you can see, it's fun. You can use music in the background. You can record your own voiceover if you want. And that's another story I'll come to at the end. So it's quite bright, it's fast, it's engaging, but you can use the information. You can use your own images as well. So that's one that we have used. The next one I'm going to show you is Animoto. The thing I like about these two as well is you can make them generic as possible. If you decide to, the one I'm going to show you is for an open day that we had, you can go in and republish that and just change the date for if you have an open day later in the year. So the work that you put into the original ones that you can create can be used time and time again. So without further ado. So that's Animoto. It's great for using images and getting quick information out there. We are also very aware of the diverse population that we have at Maynooth University. So we know that some of our mediums and tools that we're using will appeal to maybe undergraduates, some will appeal to the more mature students. So we want to make sure that we're covering all of our bases. Statistics, is it actually working? This is what we really need to know. So you can see we've got three of the tools that we're using. The first one there, we had to change the summer hours. And when we published that, we had over nearly 1,200 people actually look at that. The same with the Animoto, our extended opening hours, and one of our most popular lib guides, I know it's not exactly very clear there, which is our 3D printing, which you may have seen the poster there, just a little plug. But what I did over 2 weeks was actually monitor to see how many people had actually clicked in to the lib guide. We'll use pick font to give them the name of their subject librarian, their contact details, and we want to make sure will they actually go in. And surprisingly and thankfully, over the 2-week period, between 5 to 15 people had actually looked at it over that 2-week period. So you can look at your timing again and decide, maybe we do it earlier, maybe we can try it another time, but it does seem to be working and these students are engaging with it. So the very quick one about the costings. Animoto, we're currently paying $30 a year. If you want to upgrade, you're going to get more music styles and you won't have that logo. Powtoon is the same. You get your longer videos, your choice of music, and no logo again. Screencast-O-Matic, which we use for our online tutorials, we use in conjunction with List. It's only $15 a year. And LibGuides, of course, that's dependent on FTEs, but we decided that the cost was definitely worth it. So good things, it's easy to use, it's quick to learn, it's going to grab your students' attention, and there's minimal equipment. The cons, if you do want to record a voiceover, you're going to need basically a pair of headphones and a very quiet space. I have some ones that I didn't quite publish, and let's say the language is quite colourful. You need a bit of staff time for the initial research, and also, yes, there is the fear, will it work? What do I think? Yes, try it. Try the free stuff. Have a go, play around with it, and then you can decide which one you may want to look into further. You can be as creative as possible. I think there's so many possibilities at a minimal cost. There's my contact details. Thank you very much.